We're live right now.
We're live?
We're live. We are
So that's my
live.
signal as you tell me.
Yeah, the new
That's not a
signal.
very complicated signal.
Yeah, we've got, as you can tell, we've got a new look here at the punch list. Um,
Yeah?
so we've rearranged our technical difficulties into technical bonuses, and
Yeah.
so
And I dressed up for the occasion. I thought I'd upscale it.
hey, you got a V-neck.
That's
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 borderline
classy.
fancy.
That's classy, yeah.
Well, how you doing today, Clave?
Man, I am tired. Hard day in the salt mines.
Yeah, you probably got to dust
But
that
good work.
pickaxe off.
I'm thankful to have good work to do.
Ain't that the truth? Well, let's talk about some nerdy news because this is, after all, the punch list, the
Yeah.
nerdy news that you need to know this week. For those of you joining us for the first time, we are breaking down nerdy news every Wednesday. We'll have a post come out called the punch list, all caps, Wednesday in the morning.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon at 4, sometime after 4, whenever we
Ish.
whenever we feel like it, we come on Facebook Live. We stream our hot takes about the punch list. So it can be anything that's nerdy news. So it could be Star Wars, it can be D&D, it can be comics, anything, all of the above and more. We don't really constrain ourselves by the definition.
As
So
long as it's nerdy.
as long as it's nerdy, it's fair game. So let's break it down. You can find us at nerdsonearth.com. That's where you can follow along with the punch list as we talk about all these items. And conveniently, they're on your screen as well. So number 7, Al Ewing to bring us the Immortal She-Hulk.
Yeah. To match the Immortal Hulk.
Yes, which is
Fan favorite hot selling comic.
it is one of the only comics I've read, and I'm probably not even up to date on it anymore. But I think I'm like 18 or 20 issues in, so I can
And I think it's
actually.
on like 20, 25 or 26. So you're
Okay,
close.
I'm right there. So
Yeah.
I
You're one
feel
trade away, buddy.
I feel happy that I can actually talk about comics in a semi relevant capacity.
Well, for once, you won't disappoint me, Abram.
That's the goal. So what do you think about this?
I think it's good news. Yeah, yeah. She-Hulk obviously is a well-known character, but she doesn't have the. A lot of folks were like, "Really? There's a girl Hulk? Yeah, there's a She-Hulk, and she's been around for a long time." There was a Dan Slott, the longtime writer of Amazing Spider-Man, did a run. Gosh, it was maybe 10 years back or so, maybe more. But she's had some runs. But I think the Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing is such. I mean, it's a critic favorite. It's a fan favorite. I mean, it really is one of the comics of today. So to have him have a take on She-Hulk, it's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. So I think that's good, particularly because She-Hulk's going to have a show on Disney Plus that
Mm-hmm.
is will tie into the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the best thing in the universe.
The best thing in any universe, but especially
That's true.
616. Uh,
Yeah, so that's good. So she'll have a show. She'll have a comic by hot writer. I think it's good.
yeah, and I think I read that Immortal Hulk is one of the only few runs that's kind of had the same core team on it this
Yeah,
for the entire time. So if they're doing the same, and
yeah,
people love it, so obviously you get that consistency, and that's what can
yeah.
help produce
Comics.
good stuff.
Today's comics are exasperatingly frustrating in the way they relaunch and change creative teams. And gone are the days of Chris Claremont having a 17-year run on Uncanny X-Men. You're lucky to get a 7-issue run.
Mm.
And so Immortal Hulk at 25 issues, that's
It's the exception.
yeah, that's the exception. So hopefully She-Hulk will find an audience to
Awesome.
buy it.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
All right, let's break it down to number 6.
6.
Star Wars: A New
I've heard of that.
Certain Point of View novel is on the way for The Empire Strikes Back. So they did one for A New Hope, which have you read?
I have not, but our colleague at Nerds on Earth, Carrie, he raves about it, reviewed it on the site, and um, I did read the back in the day the tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina and Bounty Hunter tale. They're little short tales from minor characters. So from what I understand, this has the same kind of flavor
Mm-hmm.
where it's a curation of short stories about interesting point of view characters.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
can't believe I didn't read the first one, but
It's on my
you know,
list now, that's for sure. I was like, wait, this thing exists? That's so cool to do. I remember like in middle school, we read a book and it was, one story, but each chapter was from a different perspective. And I just
right.
love that style because you get so many different like inner monologues and, you know, why people think the way, you just watch and see all the background characters while you're watching the movies. You're like, is this just common for them?
Yeah,
Greedo,
yeah,
is this common?
yeah.
So,
I think it's great, and as a little kid, as a boy, I watched Empire Strikes Back in the theater, um, and
lucky.
to see all those, whatever. As a little kid, you're just, ugh, your mind's just blown, and so I think it's fun.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. The book is coming out in November,
Oh, that's a
and
long way to wait.
it is. But I don't
I'll
know.
forget about it by then.
Yeah, maybe
I need to set a reminder, a calendar reminder.
we should set a reminder.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Shifting gears from Star Wars 2, Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a gear shift. Yeah.
Huge.
D&D.
The next D&D adventure is going to be Icewind Dale, Rime of the
Yep.
Frost Maiden. What a name! What a name!
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so this was announced last week during their Roll for Advantage event, and it is supposed to be like a kind of horror theme, survival theme, environment
Yeah.
kind of thing. So sort of all this stuff rolled up into one, which is interesting. There's not a lot of. I mean, I'm sure there are more than I know, but these like cold weather kind of themed adventures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's a well known. I wouldn't call it a classic locale in the Forgotten Realms, but obviously in the north. And here I am in Minnesota and up in Viking country, and
they
I'm like,
probably
this is great.
they probably
Like I
traveled
just want to
there.
go outside and LARP it, and during the wintertime, by the time the book's released, I think that's really good. And obviously that area has also been in some of Bob Salvatore's books,
Hmm.
Drizzt books,
Yep.
um, and so it is a known setting, and I think it's cool. And yeah, you better stay frosty because there's danger around the corner, Abram,
There's danger
in that neck
around
of the woods.
right around the mountain.
That's right.
Did you
That's right.
do you
Yeah.
see anybody out in your backyard like scouting for the location for this? See, like
I did.
I
I
need
did. I saw Chris Perkins just yeah rolling his stealth check. Um, no, and in all seriousness, D&D needed this. I mean, a lot of their latest books have been a little left of field. I think in a good way. I mean, they're branching out, but to have a good meat and potatoes adventure that folks with a regular group can just be like, hey, what are we doing after Tomb of Annihilation? That's fun and is something that we can wrap our arms around. I think this fits the bill for that. It's not anything that's going to be gonzo or you know something that they can't immediately recognize. Folks will be like, yeah, fighting monsters in cold weather. I'll do it.
let's do it. I'm setting the over under at 2 avalanches that might potentially happen over the course of the adventure.
Totally, totally. They better.
Awesome. So Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, out in September. Be sure to pick that
Well,
up.
that's not winter time. Seems like a
Well,
marketing fail.
for Minnesota, it's just starting.
Yeah, it's already. Yeah, we already have feet of snow by then.
That's true. Okay, number 4, Starfinder Minis.
Heard of that?
Finally on the
Yes.
way from WizKids. So
Yeah.
they are releasing these packaged, non-randomized, pre-painted sets of 6 figures a pop. So there's Starfinder Battles Galactic Villains and Starfinder Battles Galactic Heroes.
Yeah.
So you can take a look at this. They have a sneak peek, some close-up images of these minis out in the on their sort of preview that they released. I will be the first to say, Space Goblin, the best mini of the bunch
It's
for the
awesome.
villains. I mean,
It's awesome.
it's not
Yeah.
proportional at all because the helmet
Who
he's
cares?
wearing is gigantic, and I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
As
love it.
well it should be.
Yes. So you love Starfinder minis and
Yeah,
WizKids.
I
So
love
this is
Starfinder. I love minis. I don't know any space goblins personally, but we'd be pals, I think. I mean, I love everything about this sort of thing. And if you're watching this on YouTube, as we put it up on our YouTube channel, you'll see that Nerds on Earth. How many minis, WizKids minis, pre-painted have we unboxed?
many.
Gajillion.
Yeah, you can see them
So
all laid out in their beautiful grid with numbers
as
and
many as the stars in the Starfinder universe we've unboxed. So love minis. WizKids makes a lot of great ones. Just a little bit of background. Sorry, nerds and lore. I can't help myself.
we love it.
But
We live for it.
when Starfinder was released 2 years ago, they had to deal with or maybe 3 years ago now. Two. Let's say two.
I think
Three.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Did it come out the
Regardless,
same as?
Starfinder was a game that was released, and so Paizo partnered with Ninja Division, which honestly was a bad idea. Ninja Division has a reputation for being chuckleheads and not being timely on their Kickstarters. Guess what?
What
They were
happened?
chuckleheads and not timely on their Kickstarter. At the time, Paizo already had a license for Pathfinder miniatures, so it's like, why didn't you do Starfinder? But it just didn't work out, and for a variety of reasons. So Paizo
They shifted
have
gears.
bent over backwards to make things right for that Kickstarter. But now they've also transferred the license to WizKids, which WizKids they get junk done, and so their pre-painted miniatures get better and better. What's interesting about this one is you'll be able to see what minis. They usually do the blind boosters, which I like a good grab bag, like a mystery box. I'm cool with that, but obviously most people love to just see what they're going to get when they buy it.
Yes.
So I
Yep.
think that's great.
And-
And get a few PCs for their Starfinder games and supplement it with some pawns, and you have some good tactical combat.
You've got adventure just waiting.
It's waiting.
So yeah, I'm excited, and you're absolutely right. The being able to kind of see what you're getting, this sort of a stray away from the norm, but it's there's people who prefer that to blind blisters. So way to appeal to both crowds. Good move.
Yeah, there's a manufacturing and marketing and financial reason for that, which I've gotten into mini lore far enough. So we'll skip that and save that for another punch list.
Right. Let's move on from Starfinder. Oh, let's not move on from Starfinder. We got 2 Starfinder news bits. Number 3, Paizo makes the announcement of new Starfinder playtest material.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't want to be spoiled, plug your ears, plug your headsets,
Yep.
because we are talking about the 2 new playtests that they're coming out. I want 2 playtests. One for the Nanosite class, and another for, I'm assuming this is on the other one, is mechs in Starfighter, which people have been clamoring about for ages and ages.
Yeah. As if it couldn't get more rad, it suddenly got more rad.
Exactly. And so I don't know. I love how Paizo is trying to get the feedback on their new stuff before they release it, just to be like, hey, we tested all this stuff. We like how it is, but does everyone else like how it is? So when they do that and get people involved and they can tweak, and nerds love to find those like corner case things that break the game, and so.
We're so obnoxious.
You put that out in the universe, in the Starfinder universe, and you're going to get that feedback back so that they can tweak and adjust and make sure that the content they're putting out is as close to bulletproof as you can get.
Yeah.
So
I actually had a little bit of heads up on the Nanosite, the class.
Holding out on us.
From 2 years ago, there was an NDA and tossing around a lot of ideas for new character classes, and so I happen to be in one of those open conversations tossing around, and I completely forgot about it. But then when they announced it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was one of those possibilities that didn't make it into the guide that we just saw, which is the character operations manual that introduced 3 new classes. And so obviously with an NDA, I won't say any more, except there were other ideas, which I guess people that can guess. But to be honest, I can't even recall. So I act like I have news, but it'll be news to me too, because I can't even remember.
As you're carrying around this unknown burden of future Starfinder content. Yeah, it's exciting. Nano machines, little nanobots are, they're used in sci-fi, sci-fantasy all the time.
Totally.
And
super cool.
Super cool. So,
yeah, and the mechs will be a lot of fun.
Of course. All right, number 2, moving on. Oh, snap. It is big announcement. New Pokemon Snap game announced, riding the N64 wave from 25 years ago. They are rolling in with a new Pokemon Snap game for the Nintendo Switch. The internet imploded when the news came out. Everyone is like, finally, we get another Pokemon Snap game. And honestly, I mean, the first one, it was big, but I mean, it was in the heyday of Pokemon, so it probably didn't get the recognition that it deserved. People are like, "What's Pokemon Snap?" You're literally walking around, you're literally riding in a trolley, taking photos of Pokemon. Like, what's so cool about that? But it was so cool because depending on how you interact with the Pokemon, throwing apples or how you take pictures, like you'd unlock these like little Easter eggs and get really cool poses with Jigglypuff and Pokemon like that. So this is big news. This is huge for the Pokemon fandom.
Yeah, spoken like a true '90s kid.
Oh yeah, this is
as a 46-year-old dad. I'm like, never heard of it. Like, does it have Pikachu?
It's got. Oh, there's going to be Pikachu in there.
It better have Pikachu, because I'm not carrying on my Pokemon.
You're absolutely right. This was like in my prime of like
just getting sweet spot, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we've talked about that on Nerds on Earth, that there is just something magical about when you're a kid and sort of that like age 7 to age 12 range, where I mean, it is just a thumb. It's just
it marks your soul
on your soul, man.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So
I mean, that's awesome.
Pokemon will always have a soft spot in my heart, and I'll occasionally pick up a Pokemon game every now and again. But it's that whole generation that was just it's defining. So new Pokemon Snap game. I don't think they said when, but they did give a little trailer for it. So it's coming. So just hold tight. You only have to wait a little while longer. Number one. This is actually the second time this has made the punch list, except it's a little juicier this time. Is the trailer for Hamilton was released. So Disney Plus, Hamilton is coming on, like a week, July 3rd.
Whoa.
So they
of course it'll be around 4th of July, buddy.
Yeah, they got to put it on there so everyone can watch it over the holiday weekend.
Hamilton, I mean, he's just fresh off of writing the Federalist Papers, just a couple 270 years ago.
Yeah, he's ready to kick back with a
dirty, rotten, stinking Aaron Burr and his anti-Federalist Papers and his gun ownership.
Yeah. So this, you can check out the trailer. It's going to be a PG-13 rating. People were like, well, maybe this is originally going to be an R, but they had to. I mean, there's going to be some profanity. So keep that on your radar.
There's a little cursing on the soundtrack, right? And some.
Yep.
And spoiler, there was a murder.
No.
There was a shooting.
No.
There's violence.
That doesn't happen in history, does it?
I don't know. Depends on who you believe.
So PG-13, they knocked it down from an R, so more people will tune in and watch it, which is great. I'm really
certainly because it's on Disney.
It's
Disney
on
Plus.
Yeah, they're not going to put something rated R on there.
And we need young kids to be able to, like it or not, pop culture is one of the best vehicles to share history and to share social situations and social. Um, so I think it's good. It's great.
Yeah, it's super good. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably tune in. Will I tune in on the third? We'll see. Probably.
Maybe save it for the fourth.
Maybe save it for the fourth. Now that's an idea that I could sink my teeth into. Awesome. All right. Well, that is the last item on our 7-item punch list. So let's run it back from the top, and I'll pronounce Al Ewing's name correctly this time. Al Ewing, bringing us Immortal She-Hulk.
Yep. She-Hulk.
Number 6, Star Wars: A New From a Certain Point of View, novel on the way for The Empire Strikes Back.
Which is great from my point of view.
From where you're sitting in the cold Minnesota, which goes perfectly with number 5, D&D's next adventure is the Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden.
How am I even wearing this T-shirt?
Yeah,
I should be in my North Face.
You're so risky and edgy. Number 4, Starfinder Minis, finally on the way from WizKids.
Love it.
3, Paizo announces Starfinder Playtest material for the Nanosite and Max.
By the way, you and I got to play, buddy.
We do.
Some Starfinder.
We got to play some Starfinder. You know what? Right after this, I'm gonna find a little module. We're gonna get right to it. Number 2, new Pokemon Snap game announced for the Nintendo Switch.
Woo.
And
90s kids party.
Number 1, trailer for Hamilton released for the new Hamilton coming to Disney Plus subscribers on July 3rd.
Yeah.
And that's it. This has been the punch list. You can
new and improved thanks to your hard work. So thank you, Abram.
You're welcome. Where can people find all us Nerds on Earth folks?
At nerdsonearth.com.
It's a website.
Yeah, and if you're on Facebook or Twitter, we're still Nerds on Earth.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's easy.
Yeah, let's not overcomplicate this.
It's easy to find. Nerds on Earth.
Yeah, we're nerds and we're on Earth.
It couldn't be more succinct.
That domain name was available.
Exactly. All right, Clay. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for stopping by to talk the news.
All right, man. Take care, Abram. See you next week.
Yep. See you, nerds.